About the World Trade Centers. This is history. Don't let it be a mystery.
You don't mind, do you?
No, man.
Okay.
World Trade Center is a huge complex. How many buildings were here, sir?
4.
Never say that again. 7 buildings were World Trade Centers. The only time there were 4 is in 1973. 1973 there were 4 buildings. 1972 there were 2. But he's got yes. It's a huge complex. So many businesses and addresses were here that were given their own zip code. On September 11, 2001, 5 buildings fell down that day. 4 more suffered collateral damages, and the following days and weeks and months had to be knocked down. Now, for you to understand that, you have to understand how tall they are. Now, if I can say 1,368 feet, doesn't ring a bell. 410 meters, doesn't ring a bell. 110 more. I'm gonna show you a picture, and you're gonna do the math. And when you realize how tall these buildings are, you're gonna see that a quarter mile high in the sky has to spread out and knock down everything standing around. So these 2 towers thank you, sir. Knocked down 7 other buildings standing around. The building I want you to look at is the building that you recognize right now as the Millennium Hilton Hotel. That's the one with the red line above it. That's a 47-story building, 485 feet. You ready to see that building in life? Look behind me. That's the Millennium Hilton Hotel. It's an optical illusion for that building to look 70 or 80 stories tall. It's not. It's only 47 stories tall. This building here is 60 stories, and that's that one building. That's one Louis Plaza, U.S. Steel building, completed in 1973. Split that building in 2. That's going to show you the basic width of the World Trade Centers. Put the 2 together and stick them on top of each other like Legos. That's going to give you the basic height. Stop. Add 10 more floors to the 2 twins you just stuck together. That's right, not 10 inches, not 10 feet, 10 more windows. Lock that vision in your head and sit it right off in this northwest corner. Standing right here, I got to point straight up in the air just to show you where the corner of the roof is at. 1,368 feet or 410 meters, 110 marked floors. You get off the elevator at 135 stories in height. That's a quarter of a mile high in the sky. Thank you. And when that building comes down, it has to spread out, knocking down 7 other buildings standing around. So this is what happened. The first tower to get hit is the North Tower, Tower 1. The first building to fall is the second tower to get hit, Tower 2. Why? The point of impact. 10 floors to the roof here, 33 floors to the roof here, more floors above the one. Building comes down, it spreads out, comes across the street, hits Bankers Trust, 130 Liberty. Falls on top of World Trade Center number 3, used to be the Marriott. Those 3 buildings are now down. 41 minutes later, the North Tower comes down. That's the first tower to get hit with the antenna. When that building comes down, falls on top of World Trade Centers 5 and 6, setting these buildings on fire. Taking out the North Bridge, stops all excess on the west side from north and south. At 5:20, September 11th, World Trade number 7 rolls over on his face. Regardless what you heard any newscaster or comment being said, I want to show you this building here so you can see. This was World Trade Center number 7, 48 stories tall. So many businesses and addresses were here that were given their own zip code. Yes, aside from the Manhattan zip code, the World Trade Center had its own. But on September 11, 5:20, you saw this building, World Trade number 7, roll over on his face. That's the 5 buildings that fell down that day. It's not just 2 twin towers. It's a huge complex, and I'm looking for you who think it's only 2. That was World Trade Center number 7, the same size as the Millennium Hilton Hotel. That's the Millennium Hilton Hotel. That's a new little kid on the block. Why I say that? Any building younger than 25 years are called new kids. Any building under than 50 stories are called little kids. That's a little kid. 1994, it's only 47 stories tall. Look at the picture, you do the math. That building there is this building right here. That's the Millennium Hilton Hotel.
What
yes.
side are they flying from?
Where?
What side are they flying from?
That's the number 1 asked question.
Yeah.
Before I can answer that question, I gotta ask you 2 questions. How many buildings are World Trade Centers?
7.
It's A in my class. 7 buildings are World Trade Centers. You heard this, young? Yes, 7 buildings are World Trade Centers. How many buildings are gone from ground zero?
7. No.
He didn't say 2. I'm still proud of him. Yeah, because some people say 2. Some people tell you 7 buildings, you ask how many buildings are gone, they go 2. Because they saw 2 buildings fall, the media focused on. But he's got it right. 9 buildings are gone. 7 of them were World Trade Centers. Both planes got hijacked out of Logan International Airport. They flew west till they saw the Hudson River, and they're flying south down the Hudson River. Coming down the Hudson River, there's nothing in their way. I want to show you this picture so you can see. I'm gonna give you your bearings in a minute. This is north, uptown. This is south, downtown. This is west to the Hudson River, and this is east to the East River. So both of the planes flew from Logan International to west to the shore of the Hudson River, and they're coming south down the Hudson River. Coming down the Hudson River, the tallest building is the Empire State Building. Well, guess where it's at? Some people don't realize this. It's in the middle of the island. It's not on the edge. It's in the middle of the island. This picture was taken from Windows of the World restaurant, located on the 107th floor of the North Tower, the World Trade Center, looking uptown, Empire State Building, Chrysler Building, City Corp Building, Donald Trump Tower, all your skyscrapers in the middle of the island. They're coming down the river, nothing in their way. The George Washington Bridge is only 60 stories. A clear shot. The tallest building right here in front of them is 51 stories. Take a look at it. They hit the 94th, 95th, 95th floor. 40 stories above anything in their way. The second plane, 16 minutes later, comes from the south. Now realize this, from the east and the west you see two towers. From the north and the south, the two towers look like one to you. From the east and the west, they look like two. From north to south, the way these planes came, they look like one. They were trying to do the domino effect. Think about New York City. Where those are 2- and 3-story buildings are at. That's the only kind of building that won't reach across the street. All these buildings in New York are 6 and 10 stories, all reach across the street. That's why one plane comes from the north, one plane comes from the south, trying to make their buildings fall over like dominoes. Devastation beyond belief. Lives lost. It won't stop till you come to the end of the river because you're in the island of Manhattan. That's what they were trying to do. And you realize what they were trying to do is devastate this whole area. Well, these towers are so tall, when they fall, they're going to knock down 7 other buildings standing around. 9 buildings are physically gone. 7 of them were World Trade Centers. Bankers Trust number 8, Greek Orthodox Church St. Nicholas. This is going to be number 10, my friends. That's the Deutsche Plaza. That 50-story building has to be demolished by...